Let's also add the mute functionality. So we're gonna go all the way up here again, below the this.selects, this.mute buttons. We're gonna get all of them, query selector all, mute, okay? So all of these 3 buttons. These are the 3 that we're grabbing. Okay, let's see if we need anything else. I think that's gonna be it. And now we can go all the way and add an event listener again. Ooh, my voice is cracking. I'm a teenager. Drum kit dot mute buttons for each. Let's add a button here, loop over it. Like that, using an arrow function. Button dot add event listener. On click, we want to run a function, and I'm going to pass in the event again. So drum kit dot mute. I'm going to create another method and pass in that event. Okay, so let's go up here, right below the change sound. I'm going to add a mute. We're going to have the event in here. So let's just console log out the event. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's go here, click. Okay, so we can get the target of this if we want. Let's do that. But we can also get the attribute. If you remember, we added a attribute to each of those. Data track 0, data track 1, data track 2. So this is kind of a pointer to know which track I'm clicking on. Okay, so we can store that mute index, I'm going to call this, e.target get attribute. We're going to get that data track attribute. All right, so this is going to return me 0 if I click on this one, 1 and 2. So basically I know which one is the kick, which one is the snare, and which one is the hi-hat. All right, that's why I want it. I'm also going to add a e.target.classList toggle active. Hit save, take a look. All right, well, we don't have anything on it, so we have to add this in our CSS. So let's search on CSS. And here, let's go, I don't know, let's go here. Super simple. Mute, active. We're just gonna add a background color of, let's get that gray again. Just change it to something light. Okay, that's it. That's all we need there. There we go. Perfect. So we toggle the class list of active. And now what I want to do is do a check. So if e.target.classList contains active, that means that I have to mute that track. But which track am I muting? The kick one, the snare one, or the hi-hat one? Well, we can use this mute index as a indication. So 0 is going to be kick, 1 is going to be the snare, and 2 is going to be the hi-hat, all right? Because we added this kind of indicator in here. So we can do a switch again. Switch, muted index. There we go. And here, case 0. So if it's 0, then I can do this dot kick audio dot volume is equal to 0. Okay, and I can duplicate this. Let's add a break and just copy this 2 more times. 1 and 2. Change this to 1 and 2. Here we have snare, and here we have hi-hat. Okay, that's it. And after this if statement, so click up here where the if statement is to this curly bracket, and then I can go down here and add an else. Else, if it's not active, we can switch the muted index again, like that. And again, we can kind of copy everything over from here, paste it down here, and just change the volume back to 1. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Let's see if it works, and then we're gonna recap. Mute, Okay, so that works. Let's play these. Mute this. Okay, mute both. All right, let's check the hi-hats. Mute. Unmute. Unmute the kicks. Unmute the snare. Okay, it works. So again, what we're doing here is we're grabbing the index. This is just so I can track which one it is. 0 is going to be kick, 1 is going to be snare, 2 is going to be hi-hat. We're adding the toggle active. This is just visual, so it kind of grays out and grays back. That's all this does. And then we check which one is active. All right, e.target.classList. If it contains active, that means that we want to mute that specific track or sound. All right. So if it's active, I want to mute it. If it's not active, I want to have the sound back. All right, so this is the if statement. If it's active, remove the sound. If it's not active, the mute button is not active, then we want to add the sound. Now, depending on which one we clicked, which one is active, if K0 is active, then that's the one that we want to mute. Same thing here in the else statement. All right, so it kind of repeats the functionality. Okay, so that's going to be it. We added our mute. Last thing we need to do is fix up and add the tempo. So see you in the next section.